My grandmother's grandmother walked for the same thing, right? So that makes generations of us fighting for the same thing. It's ridiculous.
Protests continue in Indianapolis. Tonight marks the 9th straight night that people have marched through the streets of Indianapolis demanding change. The protesters are continuing their calls for peace, solidarity, and an end to police brutality. Thanks for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. Right now, a curfew is in effect in Marion County, and traffic diversions are in place in an effort to decrease the number of people downtown tonight. Our Alyssa Donovan is standing by live right now. She has been out all day long talking to protesters. Alyssa.
Hi, Nicole. So we are down here at Monument Circle right now. Protesters were here earlier this evening, but they have since cleared out. It is quiet on the streets of Indianapolis tonight. Lots of people obeying that curfew that is now in effect. We've seen a few police officers driving by, but that's about it. A couple stragglers on bicycles trying to make their way home. And we started at the Capitol today right around 3 p.m. That's where there was a sit-in with a massive amount of people. Thousands came out to support this movement, and then many of those people continued their protests, taking to the streets of Indianapolis for a march through downtown, continuing to share their message.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want?
Yeah! Hundreds of protesters marched through downtown Indianapolis Saturday evening, stopping at significant locations in the Circle City.
For those of you who don't know where we're standing, 251 East Ohio is where they charge us, where they prosecute us. So this is the prosecutor's office right here. So make sure you make some noise.
The message.
So we need justice. We're here for justice. That's the purpose.
We need to be heard. I'm here for my kids. I'm here for me. I'm here for every black family that has dealt with this tragedy.
Several protesters talking about the past, what we've learned, and what we haven't.
My grandmother's grandmother walked for the same thing, right? So that makes generations of us fighting for the same thing. It's ridiculous. Why are you mad at us because our skin?
And it starts with knowing our history.
One of the things that's encouraging about this particular movement is that you see massive levels of racial diversity. And so if we think about historically, it has been through massive diversity in terms of the movement that we've gotten systemic reform when we think about the civil rights movement.
Earlier in the day, a sit-in protest was held on the Indiana State House lawn. Thousands kneeling in a moment of silence for lives lost. The only sound from a helicopter monitoring above. People of all races and ages showing solidarity against systematic racism.
We got 11, 9, and 6. Show them that, their voice does matter. They can come out here and make a positive impact on what's going on, and it's important for them to understand what actually is going on.
Many protesters spending hours today on top of demonstrations from the past several days to continue to hold strong in their movement that it's time for change. And we've seen a few officers still patrolling out tonight as that curfew is now in effect. But as I said, not a lot of people out at this hour. Most people are obeying that curfew. One thing we did notice today during those protests is officers were pretty distant. We did see some state police officers at the sit-in at the State House, as well as a few National Guardsmen. And then as people marched through the downtown area, we also saw a few IMPD officers in their patrol cars and on bikes, but they were keeping their distance from protesters, and mostly they were responsible for traffic control. And again, that curfew is in effect until early tomorrow morning. There's also another protest planned for early tomorrow morning as well. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.